All right, it is Friday, October 30th, end of the week, and a crazy day on the Dow. Start out with the Dow Jones minus 157, S&P minus 3793, NASDAQ 274, small caps 2686, the VIX 3850, up 1.49%. Commodities, gold 1877 plus 970, silver 2369 plus 033. Crude 35.59, it was down 1.60%. It was a crazy day on the SPY, the Dow, everything. Let's start with the Dow. This was down. I'm trying to look at my screens here. It's down 157 at end of the day, but I think it was down right near the close, almost 500. 3, 4, 500 at its peak. You know, I can't look back. You can see right here, 11 a.m. we dumped, came back, then we double bottomed here. It looks 26,150 on Dow Jones, Dow 30, and then we took off. Huge volume here. And I think it was 300, 400, even maybe 500 at the peak we were down. And then we came roaring back. And, the reason for that is, buyers stepped in. They stepped in for a few reasons, probably. Usually end of the week and the way it's been going, they'll probably sell off, but it didn't. You had the 150-day right here and the 200-day. Look at this. Touched right here and it bounced it up. Now, is this bullish? Yeah, it's bullish. Anytime you close like that, it's bullish. We're very oversold here at 9.37. Stochastics is a huge peak, and RSIs is getting crushed. Now, next week's the election. It's going to be huge. Is it going to be a close election? Is it going to be contested? No stimulus right now, and coronavirus cases are spiking. This is far away from the 513 EMA 9 EMA. We're very oversold here. Now let's look at the monthly. The monthly, like I said, it's trying to bend and cross down. So I still don't like this. Weekly, that is a huge bearish candle. We're crossing down. Look at this from March. We went all the way up. Came down, bounced, but the bounce. So we're crossing down right now. That's negative. Now, we touched the 100-day. There's the 150. There's the 200. Where are we going on here? So if we go all the way down to 24,837. Look in the daily. That would be really low. That'll be way down here. I don't know if we're going that low. Is this it right now? I don't think so. I think we're still going lower. I still we get it at June move. I'm still looking towards maybe 25 at the 61.8 retracement level. We'll see. I don't think this is holding right here, because the weekly tells me it's not. That's a huge bearish candle. We're just not going to come up from that. And we have divergence still going down. So we'll see right here, 26.2. Try to come up. Each time we're bouncing, but see the bounce? Look, lower, lower, still lower. So we'll see on that. All right, the SPY. See the SPY, same thing, very oversold everything. This bounce touched its 100-day, but came back down. And then you have nothing here too. This one could go to 310, 315. You have your 150 and 200-day moving average. Is closed strong, huge volume. Monthly crossing down. It's trying to hold that 5-day, which is at, right at that 327. Weekly, we went through the 5, 9, 13, and 20. It's at about 322. So your next move is 313 would be the 50-day. And you have that low right there in September, like 320. And still, though, divergence is crossing down. See this bounce, but the bounce is lower. First negative histogram candle on MACD. Once you start something negative, I don't think we're just bouncing that fast. Now, especially when we want to run like this. See this back here, 2019, sort of sideways. And this looks like more of a downtrend. We need more. That was a very small move. If you look towards this, like 350 to 320. We need one all the way down here to like that 50% retracement. So it's putting in the highs are getting lower and lower. We'll see, 315. We'll see if this holds here. Important 320 level. We break through that next week, and we're going down. So there are the levels. NASDAQ. There's the 100-day right here, 10,871. Hugging onto that pretty close. Yeah, if that breaks, this is probably going right to that 10,500 level. Trending down, everything looks bad. Elliott Wave is even negative. The monthly, yes, it's very bearish. The weekly, there's your 20-day right at 10,800. And then, see a divergence here. Divergence is lower. Crossing over negative here. I just don't like what I see right now. All these moves look like dead cat bounces. We need a stronger flush out. You see, even here, we never went below on RSI, like that 30 level. Came close. It wasn't the final. I think this is the bigger move. We'll have this bigger move here, November, and then eventually, I think December rally. That's what we're looking at here. UVXY. This is very elevated. This doesn't stay out that much, too. This is holding pretty strong here. There's your level here. 24 and then 31. Here's the VIX. The VIX filled in a candle, came all the way back, but this is remaining up too. Like I said, look at the monthly. The monthly is just crossing. A lot of MACDs, very bullish. The weekly, this is crossing up. Look at the weekly histogram. It's very bullish. For VIX, you don't see that often. It's at a 55. That means it's not done yet. I don't think it's just crossing here. This is the big move. Had little moves back here, June. Yeah, this should be the bigger move up near towards 80. We could have one more spike up. It's very bullish now. As high as it's been almost back to June. I think coronavirus cases are rising. No end in sight with that. The election, no stimulus right now. A lot to be determined right now. So, it's just the volatility is going to remain up. SDAO, bearish ETF. This is very high up here. You see the support in the 100-day. SPXX trying to touch that 100-day right here. These are all remaining up. SQQQQ. Next move for that will be 28. Remember, these have been in a long slide all the way down. So, we need this correction. We need 10%. Another 10%. TZA. This is coming up towards the 18 level. As this is a trend line. It's actually crossed down a little bit. So, SOX. This is right at that 50. It's back and forth. Caught in between now, these moving averages. This gets over this. This can get to the 48 level. There's LABD. Dust. Try to get through this line. It made a run up. It's getting overextended a little bit. Energy bears. This came back down. Cross down a little bit. Out on the other side, UDAL. This is all the way down. There's nothing down here. There's no moving averages on the daily. That's the 150, trying to hug on to that, hang on to that. Like I said, anything below this, yeah, right here, August, about 64. You know, come down here, 62, 60, and then all the way, I would say, to 56. There's your lines in the sand right now. Look at this weekly, though, on UDAL. Had one candle. Yeah, it was pretty bearish. Came back sideways. Little candle's bearish. That is a huge bearish candle. And look at the run here. See, stochastics up, up, up. The whole trend was up. Look at histogram. Now, down, down, we're negative. Now, are we going to go all the way flush down to like near 20 again? It's trying to bend here in histogram. It's hard to say. I mean, if we get the flush out we need, you know, maybe a few more weeks, an election, you know, we could get halfway there now, and then that would be really good for the market and really flush that down. So there's UDAL, SPXL, hugging on to that 200 day right here, bounced all the way up. There's your 150. You know, on this rate here, you're looking at that 45.93. And there's the 150. So you can see your moves on that. TNA, this has been a little bit stronger. Like I said, this is probably going right towards that trend line, like 29.30. Held on to that 100 day, oversold. This is more of a nice channel though, so better chance to get in on that trend line. FAS is trying to hold hard on, I put in a new trend line here about there. See, these wicks came right back up. FAS oversold. Soxel. You know, this had that big move yesterday. That was huge. Thought maybe this was going to start to come up with the market. Huge move down right here, then came back up. You know, this says that 100 right here. This trend line is important. This goes, and then you're going probably right towards around this area, that maybe 200 to 210 level. So that's on Soxel. LABU, there's your 150, there's your 200. There's Nougat, back and forth, back and forth. This is still in like that channel down. BLRX made a move up, bounce. This is trying to bounce, but oil, you know, it's still getting crushed. It's very oversold, so you might get a bounce, but it's dead money right now. DFN, yeah, this held at 850. Well, that's a nice candle. It actually crossed over on stochastics. You see the weekly on this. That's a bearish candle, though. That broke through this triangle. Very bearish. But Elliott wave still showing upwards. A lot of conflicting signals in this one. There's your daily. There's your 4 hour. 4 hours trying to bounce. This is a slower mover. Well, you can clearly see that 850 is your support. Then there's your 200, there's your 100, just trying to hang on to that 100. Yeah, if this goes below right there, that 50.72, your 38.2 retracement, and the 150 level right there below. Nail, which has been crushed too. This is breaking through all the moving averages. You have 35 right here. The last stop will be the 150 day. This broke through that important line 40, so it's very bearish right now. Besides that, you know, 33, 35 right there. Weekly, look at these candles. This is the most bearish it's been since March. 3 really bearish candles. He had 1, sideways, then 2. And right now, look how deep diving this is. This is a deep diving move. 4 hour, I'm trying to bend a little bit here. You can see histograms lessening, decreasing. So, but it's still going down. I mean, you don't want to jump in here. Here. Trying to draw these lines lower. The screen, let's see this here. So it's still in that channel down. Yeah, I don't think it's over yet. I think there's still a little bit more. I think we go into November, and then I'm not sure when after the election we'll start to rise up. December rally. I think by then we'll have a clear, we'll know who's president. I mean, if this is a close race, that's the problem. We don't know now. Is Trump going to contest if he loses? Is he going to win? Then it won't matter. It's just, you don't want to jump in now. It's too crazy. All right, so that's where we stand. Everything's elevated, risk still high, still in a downtrend on the SPY. And you can see here now it's going to be a great buy. The biggest drop since March. We go there, 33.35. That's not that much further to go. Look how oversold. This is going to be a huge buy. The 4 hour too. See, we're going along. It's pretty much hit the bottom here. It's not that much more selling pressure, but what goes up must come down. What goes down must go up. Let's see some other stocks too. AMD, watching that 74 level. DraftKings, look at it, still going down. This is a massive wedge down, falling wedge. There's SPAC. Look at this move. That was a nice move in SPAC. Really touched that 9 level and broke up today. BSX, Boston Scientific, down right there. It's not a coincidence. Right there at 33 and a bounce. Now is it over? I'm not sure. It was a nice bounce though. Still going down. FSLY, WKHS, Workhorse, still in this downtrend. I mean, these are getting hammered from the top. This was like 30. It's at 15, 50% retracement. Uber still going down. WPX, BE, Bloom Energy, massive candle bearish today. I said a 372. 372. You always buy when things are oversold like this. Now, you just don't go buy blindly. See, but every time this has been down in March, like you don't know, see the downtrend here, you don't know how far down this trend is going to be. This is 23 to 12. It's half off right now. Now, you just don't want to jump in here because it could still keep going. Got to wait for the signals. Altria Group, TRVN, AMC, Apps, Digital Turbine, huge tail, came back up. KHC Craft. This is trying to come up here. It's a nice day. BRFS. Rocket Mortgage is down to, what's the level here? IPO 1750, low 1778. So this is put in almost the double bottom. Is this over yet? Not sure. It's got to be close. That's going to be a good buy. There's so many buys. Mark still going down. SRNE. FTI, this little stock. It doesn't move big, but that's a nice move. 2 days. Netflix. Getting hammered here. Tried to come up, fake out. Overstock went right through the 60 level. Take that out. It's not support no more. Can probably put this in now. There's like sort of a wedge here. I mean, it's a big wedge. This has a long way to go. You know why? Look at the monthly. It's in a downtrend. Look at the weekly. Once this is over, well, under 20, then this will bounce. AMAT, CNK, HPQ wasn't bad. 2 days on that. It's pretty good in this market. Philip Morris put in 2 strong days. This could be a bottom too. Did this, moved up, did this. Well away from your 1320 EMA. Party City tried to move up, got rejected. Still very oversold here. A lot of these stocks are getting hammered. Very oversold. Fidelity National, this is washing down. Look at PEIX too. This went all the way up to 11 plus. It's at 6. Top. Yeah, that looks like a shooting star candle. It's a reverse. It's the low candle, but this is a top of a pattern. I'd be careful in that. You're way away from your 1320 here. Look how far the distance. Cisco just held in 54. HYLN. Man, this is hammered. This still is not showing anything. I'm moving these on this wedge. See connecting points. It doesn't even connect no more. It's wedge is so tight. Look how flat stochastics. That's why a stock can keep going down. You don't know where this is going to stop. This is at 18. I thought 20 would hold this little line here from August. It didn't. This could go, you don't know now. It's going to keep, let's see the 4 hour. 4 hours not really showing much. This was 55, it's 18. And look at the run up. The run up was 20 to 55. I mean, you don't know where it's going to stop. This could stop maybe near 15 the IPO or maybe below. NAC. GSX, not going to hold in this market. It's down, this trend line, trying to hold. But if not, this could go right to probably 60. There's run still in this wedge. All these wedges, though, it's like when you're down, you're up, you're down. It's such a good time right now because you're going to be able to get in any of these. And then another month, we'll have a rally, December probably. Everything's ebb and flow. And then you're going to get great longs. You're going to crush it. They're going to go up, and it's going to be a huge rally, most likely. DDD get crushed all the way down here. USFD, United Foods Holdings, this is trying to hold, very oversold too. BYND, now this is a classic move. See this wedge up? It's a rising wedge, it's called. And then all the way back down, look at this. It's just a waterfall now. Where is this going to stop? Who knows? You can see the chart there. TNQ, W, CF. There's Bloomin' Brands. Geo. Trying to make a little move today. Red. Going down a list here. See this CCC. It was a nice 2-day move. But in this market, most of these are going to fail. And that's what happens. When you have a move up and the market's going up, it's, the reverse. FLDM, that's a tight wedge, just could bust up soon enough when the market changes. There's Navi, another gap here. This is good potential long because this is moving. See the lows? We're getting higher. The 10 is a huge line right there. There's CAR. That was a nice move in this market. BLDR. There's Dell. DNOW. DNOW is like a double bottom here. Look at this all the way down. Yeah.
See, I'm heading home.
All right. I'll see you later.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm right to sleep. I'm so tired. This weather making me
And I need like
sleepy.
something getting up.
I know, right? I could go right to sleep.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you later.
I'll talk to you later. PLDI sleeping down. CCJ. There's Groupon. They're coming up with next week earnings. Still like this long. You know, this is another one pretty easy. 10, 15, you know, the 20 line right around that. The market's just crushing it. You know, they're going to want to pump this back up. You have a huge gap here. Rumors of a merger or something. You know, it's good. It's a good shot. Long your bias being oversold, and it's just the market's terrible right now. The only thing, if they have bad earnings or something, they'll drop it down even more, but you got to wait and see. Trill, Redfin. Sportsman Warehouse, SPWH going right down here. So this isn't holding. Pick, I remember I said this was breaking out. I remember that. It did, and then, you know, you play what it is. You play the chart exactly what it does, but then look at this, fade it. And that's the thing with everything in stock trading, stock charts. Nothing worked 100% of the time. Yeah, this moved up. Is it going to keep going? Nope. And then you get out. The whole thing is cutting your losses. I mean, you can make trades, whatever you trade a day, you know, 500, 1,000, 3,000, even on swings. Just get out if it doesn't work. That's the name of the game. Let's see here, going down here. Everything's pretty much garbage down there. All right, that's pretty low on the list, so that's on that. Let's see what else we got here. All right, here's Dewey. You see this broke up, came back, and this is like chopping around. You know, it's a tougher move there. WVE, Wave Life. I haven't looked at this in a while. I remember I said this was a chance up here, but you can see it didn't move over 9. You get out. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. So let's take a look at the top gainers. And once again, the gainers stay pretty weak. The highest was 37.4 MARPS. And that was it, because the market, people think the market doesn't affect small caps. For the most part, it doesn't. You know, they run like on their own field, you could say. That's why you get 300% gains, 200%. But, you know, if the market's not doing good, that means, you know, everyone's probably not playing or trading or whatever. So you can see the gainers have been weaker. So, but there still is moves to be had and traded. And MARPS, let's take a look. And this was definitely a pump. I don't see any news on this. What is MARPS? Marine Petroleum Trust, overriding royalty interest in 59 oil and natural gas leases, blah, blah, blah. So now this is a pump. When you see this stock, you know, it's total garbage. What's the float? 1.61 million. Look at this move up here. Huge wick. Consolidated around the 1320 EMA. Huge wick again on the 19th. Consolidated again. You know, pretty much kept its ground here. The low didn't get that low. And then it pumped again today. So look at the volume spike. So traders are in this. They're pumping this. And the wicks they're getting in, and people are stuck up here, the newbies who don't know anything about trading. So, and you can see this stock does nothing before that. Great volume today. So, yeah, I don't see any news in this. Most likely a pump, but it doesn't matter. There it is. When you see this big candle here, it's 50,000. Next candle, 63. This is on the 5-minute. 305,000. Look at these lines. Just play quarter lines. I mean, you can play tighter than that, but it's very hard to see that. Look how tight they are. So quarter, quarter. You're playing line to line. Now, if you're playing here and this goes back here, that might fake out some people because that's a quarter loss. But if you have whatever you're trading, it shouldn't be that big because, quarter down there is really nothing. That's why if you're big size and something like that happens, you stop out, then you're pissed. You're pissed, then it screws everything out in your trade. So this went all the way out. You can see the line here, 550. Look at this, wicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks, and then it dropped. So that's on the 10-minute, 5-minute and 10-minute. Put in here, one big candle, then came back, and then you can see it here. 3-minute. 3-minute wasn't bad. You went line to line here. Then it had a halt, then went back up. That's why I don't use nothing below the 3. 1 and 2, only in very specific cases. It's too much noise here. And we have here a little candle, then right here, touch the 13. So the 13 is over the 20. So this isn't even that bad of a chart on the 2-minute. 1 minute, you see it's just way too many candles and noise. So I don't need that. So there was MARPS. BLRX announces positive results from interim analysis of Genesis Phase 3 trial. I'm trying to pronounce this. Oxyfortide and stem cell mobilization. So that's real good news. And this was at 7 a.m. So that's legit news on a low float. About 19 million at super low. Now this one was a little bit different. This made the move right up here. As soon as you had the news, went sideways. That 2 line was huge. You can see it holding here, holding. And came back a little bit on these wicks. I'm not that sure it's a misprint again, but then it came up. And this move too, remember I said when you start high, it'll bounce to go low. When you start low, there's a chance to go up high. This is what I call in the middle, right in the middle of your, and then, right here, 210, you can see we're back and forth. So this held pretty good. You could see clearly what it was doing. Then it made one big shot up, bounce a little bit, bounce, and it faltered. And on the 10-minute, look how your 13's over your 20. There's no real sells here. On these candles, these 10-minute, probably stopped out a lot of people. But once again, like I said, give it time. Look at the 210 line. You're right below that too, slightly below. You got to give it time there. And that's why patience is so important in trading. If you don't have patience, you're not going to make it either. People in quick gains, I'm up 200 or 300. You can get way bigger. You can get like 3 times that. So you can see that on the 3-minute. You can see these moves back and forth. So this was a nice long, put in huge volume today. They took this all the way up to, there it is, the 3 line. And that's because look at this drop. It dropped, and look where your 3 line is, right here. There's the 3 line, and there's no coincidence that's where they brought it. Because look at all these candles here. And you blew past the 250 line, came back to the 2 line. All these lines, anything under 10, you're like $1 to $10, all these stocks. And you can see these lines. You can see what they do. You can see how they manipulate it and everything. You can see line to line where everything's at. You can see that's why they took it to 3 there. All right, DSKE. Not great volume here on this. I don't like to play, not great volume. TCDA, not a bad long. 410 to 590 is pretty good. Here's another one, AIRI. Now remember I said if you start high, it goes low. Like this is more, not towards the middle, towards getting up there, higher. I would say slightly above that middle range. And then we went all the way up, and look at this, peaked early pre-market, and then you fade it. These little bounces trying to never moved, and it got smoked. You see the daily chart right there. There's Cassie, this one up. And the top gainers today, the main gainers, I have 3, 6, 4, 6, 1, 9, 10. A lot under 20 today. Later down the list, there's some way over 20. So, but the gainers list overall was weak as far as what they gained percentage wise. CBA, MICT. Here's a MoneyGram. Yeah, made a quick spike here. This stock, FNGD, BLRX Microsectors FANG Index 3 times inverse leverage ETN. I have no idea what that is. ZEG, ZDGE. Here's SPAC. This was a tougher trade. You can see on the daily, this found support at 9, really broke up today. That's a nice move in this market. Yeah, not the best of gains. This is more of a swing. I would hold longer. You just have to know where the bottom is. Getting on the list here. See, nothing great here. This is a really weak list today. Now, the cruise lines, the CDC said they can open back up, which makes no sense. The CDC is a bunch of idiots. The one thing in life, too, I've learned as being older is from experience, just people reading information. Like, coronavirus was not as bad if you go back even in March, even in June. The cases are almost 100,000 a day, but they're opening up cruise ships now. Like, does that make any sense? No, the CDC says it's okay. Oh, social distancing. And really, on a cruise ship, people are drinking in this. They're going to forget. Yeah, you got to laugh at things in life because no one makes sense. These people with these big titles and positions, they don't know anything. Most of them are full of crap. So the CDC is a bunch of fools. So anyway, though, Cuck oversold here. And if you're playing this, remember low to high, it looks like a good time to get in. This could do a back and forth. This is a huge triangle still, symmetrical. And it looks like it's favored and this will bust up. It looked like it was going to go down and really break further. We'll see in it though. So that's tough on that. Here is LMND, Lemonade Incorporated. And this is a nice wedge. Came out of the wedge. Yeah, support of 45 and right there at 46.78. You can see that trying to come up here. So this is interesting long. Let's see if this is on my list here. Put this on. So that's a good breakout in this market. Let me see the 4 hour. Yeah, the 4 hour is already broken out. It's just a matter if these are going to hold up. The market's still getting crushed. I mean, this one against the market. So we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty much down the list. See SQQQ today. NASDAQ getting smoked. Now on these, to play these bearish ETFs or any ETFs, they're a little easier to read. They might put in like huge tails and stuff. Like, look at these quarter lines, they're very wide. So in a stuff like this, when you see this bottom, these two wicks at 23.75, you know, that's a good sign that they're pushing out to the long side, like they pushed it back up. So that 24 line was nice. And then you can play back and forth. When you see this line, you play that line, or if it came back a little bit, you play that bottom line. You know, on this, you're playing the breakup. On this, you're playing that line. On this, probably playing that line. You know, although this went all the way back to that line. Remember your support too. See this rising up? On any bullish move or bearish move, your 13 is going to start rising and your 20. So look at this, bounced up, bounced up. So that's how some of them work. I back tested that and it definitely works. Let me see what else. S-Dow. See this tougher move there. TZA. Yeah, bounced up. All right, so that's on that. Some oil. Let's see the oil plays. Oxy. Yeah, these are more of longer term. Look at this crush down here. SLB. Patchy. Yeah, these are almost back to like their March levels. All right, so where was I? So, yeah, small caps. Yeah, the moves are quick. I mean, right now they're not holding. You're not getting all day long. It seems like less and less as the week goes on, as the market's really tumbling. It's affecting everything at this point. I'm looking to next week, extremely cautious. The election, there could be, like I said, a contested election. We'll see how close it is. If it's down to like 50, 49%, whatever that is, I mean, Trump could contest it if he loses. If Biden loses, I don't know, he might contest too. I'm not sure if he said it will do that. If it's a clear winner, it's a better shot that it's, they're not going to be wrong. Even if they contest it, they count these votes. The clear winner is going to be the winner at that point. Coronavirus cases are surging. No one has any answers how to stop this. You don't want things closing again. That'll be a complete disaster. Stimulus probably will happen, but who knows when. And, oil's going down too. So oil's not really doing nothing. Yeah, your airlines, they're all buried down here. See love. See all these stocks. So casinos, there's Wynn, LVS, all your cyclical stocks, leisure. So there's LVS. See MARPS again. See a lot of these spike ups. You get in here, you have plenty of time. Play these quarter lines. They're not bad longs, they're just quick moves. Like this was like an hour move. They're not all day runners. And this was a pretty good move from pre-market. And that 2 line was very good, and then it's went up, and there you go. And that's the thing too. On the longs on these small caps, if news comes out, it's legit. They're gonna bring it to some level. They're not gonna bring it to here and that's it. I doubt it, because that's the whole point. When they're lower float, they have good news. They're gonna push it up. The only reason they wouldn't if there's no news and it's total trash. So that's why you gotta start pre-market if you're long most of the time. Not all the time, but LMND. Let's see what weekly on that. There's the daily. Love that candle there. Trying to get that close up. That's a typical falling wedge. Look at this. That was a big wedge. Moves up. There's the move. Move down. You're oversold right here. And what's oversold? Eventually it'll go up. Now, it could be weeks. It could be a month. Who knows? In this market, it's hard to say. That made a good move today, but it could do this even 1-2 days and then fall back, go way back down. Could rise up slowly. You don't know. I mean, this went in the face of the market today, so it's a good sign. Most of these wedges aren't working. Like most of these, I remember I pointed out tons of these wedges because the market from October to September move, they rode up. Now we've been in a downtrend. So the downtrend, when is it going to end for these stocks? Who knows? There's plenty of stocks still going down in a wedge. They're getting so tight. They're being cut 50% off at this point. So this still looks like a good long. I mean, really your stop is going to be 45. I mean, if you're here and it still goes down here, get out earlier than that because you can get back in. But you can see that 45 line. So, this is good potential. Then I can actually take this out now. So there's a line right here. I mean, that's a line right now. you can draw your line here. I mean, the 45 line is pretty good. That would be next line here. See, there's the move up, move down, then we broke up, finally broke up. And see, that's why trend lines, people understand, you know, the most important things too, like I said, your 9, 13, 20 EMA, short term, trend lines with directions the stock going. You know, this is from here, it's in a downtrend, bounced up, but it didn't go through. So the high is getting lower still. Now you can play within that move. That's why you can play within that move. That's what traders do, even on that, you know, daily time frame. So this, it'll probably go back up eventually when this bounces to a lower high, but it doesn't matter. It'll be about 60, 62 maybe, we'll see. So as a good shot for longs at that point. Just saw this stock, USX. Oh, I like this huge gap here. I'm putting this on here. 650, huge gap above. Very oversold. Very nice chart here. And I'm just looking at FinBiz. So they have this as a double top right here about. And then do the line like right here, putting in that trend line now. So you can see this huge move. This puts in huge moves down and back up, back down. So that's a good support there. That's a good sign. It's very oversold at 11. And this makes big runs for months. Now, you know, right now this is moving here. It's still not even, that's why you want low to high. Where could this go? 8. Sometimes it doesn't fill the gap, maybe in between. This moves like 50 cents a dollar, so not huge runners, but you know, this could be over $1 easy. So I guess that is it for today. So the swings, you know, are going to work right now. They're not going to work. They're not going to work till the market fully turns around and we start going back up, you know, day by day. Bearish ETFs are working to the long side still. They're getting pretty overbought at this point. So it's a little more ways to go, I think, before they start to cool down. Like, you know, your S-Dow right here, double bottom. Look how far this up. Very oversold. Actually crossed down right now on the daily. The weekly, it's just coming up though. The weekly, look at this. Let's see this weekly. It came out of this triangle. Yeah, it's as high as it's been September. So it's hard to say how far they'll go. Yeah, you just have to look at the market. You know when the market turns. So that's it for now. Please subscribe and like the channel, and we will be back on Monday. And it should be an interesting week with the election and more volatility. Peace.